Listen, my beautiful souls. I need you to lean in right now because what I'm about to share with you isn't just another message about love. This is a divine revelation that's been burning in my heart. And I know the Holy Spirit has orchestrated this moment for you to hear these words. Right now, as you're watching this, your soulmate, the one God has specifically designed for your heart, is thinking about you. They're praying about you. They're making decisions that will lead them directly to your life. I'm not talking about some fairy tale, romance, or wishful thinking. I'm talking about the supernatural love that God has written into the very fabric of your destiny. You see, there's a reason you clicked on this video today. Your spirit recognized something that your mind is still catching up to. God is moving in your love life right now, and your soulmate has reached a point where they cannot wait any longer. They've made their choice, and that choice is you, forever. But before we dive deep into this prophetic word, I need you to do something for me. Hit that subscribe button right now and ring the notification bell. Why? Because what I'm about to share over the next 45 minutes will shift your perspective on love, relationships, and God's timing in ways that will change your life forever. The revelation coming your way isn't just information, it's transformation. And when God starts moving in your love life the way He's about to, you're going to want to be connected to this community of believers who understand the power of covenant love. This isn't just another relationship channel. This is where broken hearts get healed, where single seasons get their purpose revealed, and where soulmate connections get activated by the power of God's perfect timing. So subscribe now, because by the end of this video, you're going to understand exactly why your waiting season is over, and why your soulmate has already made their forever choice about you. Number 1, the divine stirring in their heart has reached breaking point. Your soulmate is experiencing something they've never felt before, and it's keeping them awake at night. There's a stirring in their spirit that goes beyond natural attraction or compatibility. God has placed a supernatural hunger in their heart, specifically for the love that only you can provide. This isn't about desperation or settling. This is about divine recognition. Their soul is responding to something that their mind can't fully explain yet. When God created you, He designed you with specific frequencies of love, specific ways of caring, specific expressions of tenderness that their heart was designed to receive. And right now, that design is calling out to its match. Think about how a tuning fork works. When you strike one tuning fork, another tuning fork of the same frequency will begin to vibrate even from across the room. Your soulmate's heart is vibrating with the same frequency that God placed in you. They're feeling pulled toward something they can't name, drawn to someone they may not have met yet, but their spirit knows is coming. This divine stirring isn't comfortable for them. It's disrupting their plans, their timelines, their ideas about how love was supposed to happen. But God's timing doesn't ask for permission. When He decides it's time for covenant love to manifest, He begins to prepare both hearts simultaneously. Your soulmate is being prepared right now through dreams, through sudden desires for deeper connection, through a dissatisfaction with surface-level relationships that used to satisfy them. They're finding themselves praying prayers they've never prayed before, asking God for clarity about their future partner, asking for direction about where to go and what to do. And every single one of those prayers is being answered with your name. Not audibly, but spiritually. Their heart is being aligned with yours through supernatural means. The restlessness they feel isn't anxiety, it's anticipation. Their spirit recognizes that their waiting season is coming to an end. God has been dealing with their heart about commitment, about being the kind of partner that covenant love requires. He's been breaking off old mindsets about relationships, healing wounds from their past, and preparing them to love you the way you deserve to be loved. This stirring is accompanied by a strange new confidence about their future. They're making decisions about their life, their career, their living situation with you in mind, even if they don't realize it yet. God is orchestrating their steps to align with the timing of your divine connection. The most beautiful part about this divine stirring is that it's creating in them a capacity for the kind of love that will honor God and bless your life in ways you've only dreamed about. They're not just falling in love with the idea of you, they're being transformed by God into the partner He designed them to be for you specifically. This stirring has reached its breaking point. They can no longer ignore what God is doing in their heart. The time for preparation is ending, and the time for manifestation is beginning. Number 2, God has given them supernatural clarity about your identity. Something miraculous is happening in your soulmate's spiritual life right now. God is peeling back the veil and giving them glimpses of who you are, not just your physical appearance, but your heart, your character, your calling, your essence. This isn't about psychic predictions or New Age manifestations. This is about the God who knows the end, from the beginning, showing your soulmate exactly who they've been waiting for. Maybe it's coming through dreams that feel more real than reality. Dreams where they see themselves loving someone whose face they can't quite remember when they wake up, but whose presence felt like home. Dreams where they're praying with someone, building something beautiful together, raising children who carry both of their strengths. These dreams aren't just wishes, they're prophecies. God is using their sleep to prepare their heart for a love that their conscious mind couldn't have imagined. Or perhaps the clarity is coming through sudden, specific desires. They find themselves wanting to learn things that will bless you, developing skills that will serve your shared future, making financial decisions that will benefit a family they don't even have yet. This supernatural clarity is also manifesting in their prayers. They're praying with a specificity that surprises even them, asking God for a partner who loves Him the way you love Him, someone with your exact heart for worship, your specific calling, your unique way of seeing the world. They don't know they're describing you, but heaven knows. Every detail they pray aligns perfectly with who you are and who you're becoming. God is also giving them discernment about what real love looks like. Suddenly, they can see through the counterfeits that might have attracted them before. Relationships that looked good on the surface now feel hollow. People who would have been good enough now feel completely wrong. This isn't them becoming pickier. This is God raising their standards to match His plan for their life. The clarity extends to timing as well. They're getting a supernatural sense that their season of waiting is almost over. They can't explain how they know, but they know there's an excitement building in their spirit about the future that feels different from anything they've experienced before. It's not vague hope, it's specific expectation. God is also revealing to them the areas where they need to grow before you arrive, not because they're not good enough for you, but because He wants them to be the best version of themselves when they meet you. They're getting supernatural motivation to deal with issues they've been avoiding, to break habits that wouldn't serve your relationship, to develop character traits that will bless your connection. This clarity about your identity is creating in them a protective instinct for a relationship that doesn't even exist yet in the natural realm. They're guarding their heart more carefully, making choices with you in mind, preparing themselves emotionally and spiritually to be worthy of the love God has destined for you both. The most profound part of this supernatural clarity is that it's giving them peace about their past. All the relationships that didn't work out suddenly make sense. All the heartbreak and disappointment was just God protecting them for you. They can see now that nothing was wasted. Nothing was a mistake. Every experience was preparing them to love you better. This divine revelation about your identity isn't just information, it's transformation. It's changing how they see themselves, how they see love, how they see their future, and it's creating in them an urgency to become everything God called them to be so they can give you everything you deserve. Number 3, their heart has been supernaturally prepared to receive your love. Something profound has been happening in your soulmate's emotional world that goes beyond natural healing or personal growth. God has been performing supernatural surgery on their heart, preparing them to receive and reciprocate the specific kind of love that you carry. This preparation isn't just about making them ready for any relationship. This is about making them ready for your love specifically. The way you give love, the way you express care, the way you show affection. Their heart is being supernaturally aligned to receive all of it and respond in ways that will create the most beautiful synergy between you. Think about how a heart transplant works. The doctors have to prepare the recipient's body very carefully so that when the new heart arrives, it won't be rejected. God has been preparing your soulmate's emotional and spiritual heart so that when your love arrives, it will be received as the perfect match it was designed to be. The old emotional patterns that would have sabotaged your connection are being healed and replaced. Those defense mechanisms they developed to protect themselves from past hurt are being dismantled in the areas where they would block your love. God is giving them the capacity to trust at the level your love deserves, the ability to be vulnerable in ways that will create true intimacy, the emotional intelligence to navigate the depths of connection that covenant love requires. This supernatural preparation is also healing their attachment style. If they've been avoidant, God is softening their heart to crave the closeness you offer. If they've been anxious in relationships, He's giving them security and peace about your faithfulness. If they've struggled with trust, He's showing them what trustworthy love actually looks like by revealing your character to their spirit. Your soulmate is also being prepared to love you through your imperfections. God is giving them supernatural grace and patience for your growth areas, not because you need fixing, but because true love sees beyond the surface to the heart. They're developing the kind of love that will encourage your dreams, support your calling, and celebrate your victories without jealousy or competition. This preparation includes a supernatural understanding of your love language, even before they meet you. Their heart is being trained to recognize what makes you feel most loved and valued. Whether you need words of affirmation, acts of service, quality time, physical touch, or gifts, their heart is being prepared to naturally express love in the ways that speak most deeply to your soul. God is also preparing them emotionally for the intensity of what you'll share together. Covenant love isn't casual or surface-level. It requires emotional maturity, spiritual depth, and the ability to handle the sacred responsibility of being someone's lifelong partner. Your soulmate is being prepared for the weight and wonder of loving you for the rest of their life. The supernatural preparation extends to their capacity for spiritual intimacy. God is deepening their relationship with Him, so they can connect with you on the spiritual level that your soul craves. They're learning to pray with the kind of authority that will cover your family, developing the spiritual sensitivity that will discern what you need even when you can't express it, growing in their ability to hear God's voice about your shared future. This preparation is also creating in them a supernatural protectiveness over your heart. Before they even know you, they're developing the kind of love that will guard your emotions, defend your character, and create safety for your most vulnerable parts. They're learning to love with the same fierce tenderness that Christ has for his bride. Your soulmate is also being prepared to handle your past with grace. Whatever you've been through, whatever mistakes you've made, whatever pain you've experienced, their heart is being prepared to love you through all of it without judgment or condemnation. God is giving them the supernatural ability to see you the way he sees you, perfectly loved, completely forgiven, and absolutely worthy of covenant love. The most beautiful part of this supernatural preparation is that it's creating in them a love that will actually heal parts of your heart that you didn't even know were wounded. Their love for you will be therapeutic, restorative, and life-giving in ways that only God could orchestrate. Number 4, they've received divine confirmation that you are their forever choice. Your soulmate has moved beyond hoping, wishing, or wondering about their future partner. God has given them supernatural confirmation that you are the one he has chosen for them. And this revelation has settled something deep in their spirit that cannot be shaken. This confirmation didn't come through human reasoning or emotional feelings that could change with circumstances. This came through divine revelation that bypasses the natural mind and speaks directly to the spirit. It's the kind of knowing that Abraham had when God promised him descendants like the stars. It seemed impossible, but he knew that he knew that he knew God had spoken. Your soulmate has received that same quality of divine confirmation about you. Maybe it came through a prophetic word that described you with impossible accuracy, a stranger praying over them who spoke details about their future spouse that made their heart race with recognition. Or perhaps it came through scripture that suddenly came alive with personal application, a verse about God's timing, about his faithfulness to bring the desires of the heart, about him preparing a helpmeet suitable for them, words they'd read 100 times before suddenly carried the weight of divine promise specifically for their love life. This confirmation might have come through supernatural peace that settled over them. When they prayed about their future, the anxiety about being alone forever just lifted. The fear that they'd missed their chance or made too many mistakes to deserve love just evaporated. God replaced their worry with an unshakable confidence that their love story was not only still possible but already written in heaven, that the divine confirmation is also manifesting in their decision-making. They're making choices about their future with absolute certainty that you're going to be part of it, not hoping you might be, not trying to manipulate circumstances to make it happen, but moving forward with the quiet confidence of someone who knows what God has promised. This confirmation has given them supernatural patience with God's timing. Instead of being frustrated that you haven't arrived yet, they're using this time to prepare. They understand that God is coordinating both of your hearts, both of your circumstances, both of your spiritual growth to create the perfect conditions for your connection. Your soulmate has also received confirmation about the specific purpose of your union. This isn't just about personal happiness or companionship. God has shown them glimpses of the ministry, the family, the impact that will come through your partnership. They can see how your individual callings will weave together to create something more powerful than either of you could accomplish alone. This divine confirmation has also given them supernatural boldness about love. If they were timid or cautious in relationships before, that's changing. They're developing the confidence to pursue covenant love with the assurance that comes from knowing they have heaven's backing when they meet you. They won't be playing games or holding back. They'll love you with the full weight of divine confirmation behind their feelings. The confirmation extends to their understanding of your character. God has given them specific insights into your heart, your integrity, your faithfulness that make them excited rather than anxious about vulnerability. They know that the person God has chosen for them will handle their heart with care, will honor their trust, will love them through their imperfections. This divine confirmation is also creating in them a supernatural ability to recognize you when you arrive. Not just physically, but spiritually. Their spirit will witness with yours in a way that transcends natural chemistry or compatibility. They'll know that they know that they know this is the person God promised them. Your soulmate has also received confirmation about the timing of your connection. They sense that the season of waiting is almost over. There's an expectancy in their spirit that feels like a woman in labor who knows her time has come. The promise is about to manifest, and they can feel it approaching. The most powerful aspect of this divine confirmation is that it's given them supernatural faith for your relationship before it even begins. They already believe in your love story because God has authored it. They're not afraid of commitment because heaven has already committed to your success. They're not worried about whether it will last because eternity has already sealed your covenant. This confirmation from God has transformed them from someone hoping to find love into someone confidently expecting to receive what God has already promised. And that confidence is magnetic, attractive, and absolutely irresistible. Number 5. The enemy's resistance against your union is crumbling. Something powerful is happening in the spiritual realm that's directly affecting your love life. And you need to understand what's taking place so you can cooperate with what God is doing. For too long, the enemy has been throwing obstacles between you and your soulmate. But his time is running out and his strategies are failing. The devil knows that when covenant-minded believers come together in marriage, they become a force that threatens his kingdom in ways that single people, no matter how anointed, cannot match. To truly become one, and that exponential power terrifies him. But right now, God is dismantling every demonic assignment that has been delaying your divine connection. The spiritual warfare that's been raging over your love. Life is about to shift decisively in your favor. Think about what's been happening in your life lately. Sudden breakthroughs in areas that have been stuck for years. Old wounds finally healing. Past relationships finally making sense. Financial doors opening that will provide stability for your future family. These aren't coincidences. These are signs that God is clearing the pathway for your soulmate to find you. The enemy's primary strategy has been to make you both believe that true love isn't possible for you. He's whispered lies about your worth, your past, your ability to maintain a healthy relationship. He's used every disappointment, every heartbreak, every lonely night to build a case that you're meant to be alone. But those lies are losing their power. The truth about God's heart for your happiness is drowning out the deception. Your soulmate is experiencing the same liberation from lies they've believed about themselves. The enemy has been telling them they're too damaged, too old to set in their ways, too complicated for someone to truly love. But God is revealing the truth about their value, their lovability, their readiness for covenant partnership. The spiritual resistance is also crumbling around practical obstacles that have been preventing your connection. Geographic barriers that seemed impossible are shifting. Career opportunities are opening in cities where you need to be. Social circles are expanding to include the people who will eventually introduce you. Living situations are changing to create the environments where your paths will cross. God is orchestrating circumstances with divine precision. The enemy has also been using fear to keep you both isolated and self-protective. Fear of vulnerability, fear of rejection, fear of repeating past mistakes. But perfect love casts out fear, and God is flooding both of your hearts with His perfect love for you. This supernatural love is giving you both the courage to open your hearts again, to trust again, to hope again. Another major area where resistance is breaking is in your families. Attitudes toward your love life. If there have been people speaking negativity over your chances of finding love, that's changing. If family members have been pressuring you with their timelines or opinions, God is giving you peace about His timing. If past relationships have made loved ones cautious about your choices, God is preparing them to celebrate what He's doing. The spiritual resistance is also breaking around your individual preparedness. Issues in your character that would have sabotaged your relationship are being healed. Patterns of thinking that would have attracted the wrong person are being renewed. Areas of immaturity that would have damaged your connection are being grown up by God's grace. Your soulmate is experiencing the same. Supernatural preparation. The enemy knows that when God joins two people together in covenant love, their combined prayers become incredibly powerful. Their shared vision threatens demonic strongholds. Their unified purpose advances the kingdom of God in ways that shake hell's foundations. So He's been working overtime to prevent your connection. But His resistance is collapsing under the weight of God's perfect timing. The most beautiful part of this spiritual breakthrough is that it's creating a supernatural acceleration in your love story. What should have taken years to unfold will happen in months. Connections that should have taken chance encounters will happen through divine appointments. Healing that should have required extensive counseling will happen through the power of covenant love. Your soulmate is feeling this. Acceleration too. Their life is moving faster than they expected. Doors are opening. Decisions are being made. Paths are becoming clear at a pace that can only be explained by divine intervention. The enemy's resistance is crumbling because his time is up. God has set a divine appointment for your hearts to connect, and nothing in hell or earth can delay it any longer. Every weapon formed against the love story is being destroyed. Every assignment sent to separate you is being cancelled. Every lie spoken over your romantic future is being silenced by the truth of God's promises. The resistance is over. The breakthrough is here. Your soulmate can't wait any longer because the spiritual obstacles that were keeping them from you no longer exist. Number 6. Their love for you is already operating in the present tense. What I'm about to tell you might sound impossible, but it's one of the most beautiful mysteries of how God works in covenant relationships. Your soulmate is already loving you right now, even though you haven't met yet. This isn't wishful thinking or romantic fantasy. This is a supernatural reality that happens when God knits two hearts together before He brings two lives together. Their love for you exists in the present tense because in the realm of the Spirit, where God dwells and operates, your relationship already exists. Time is a human limitation, not a divine one. God sees your entire love story as a completed reality, and He's giving your soulmate glimpses of that eternal perspective. This present tense love is manifesting in their daily life in ways they might not even consciously recognize. They're making decisions with you in mind. choosing apartments that will work for 2 people, buying furniture that will welcome a partner, creating routines that will bless a shared life. They're not doing these things because they're presumptuous or desperate. They're doing them because their spirit is responding to a love that already exists in God's realm. Their heart knows something their mind is still catching up to. This love is also showing up in their prayers. They're praying for you specifically, even if they don't know your name, asking God to bless your day, to protect your heart, to prepare you for the love that's coming. They wake up with you on their heart and go to sleep with prayers for your well-being. On their lips, when they worship, they're worshipping on behalf of the family unit you'll create together. When they give offerings, they're sowing into the financial foundation of your shared future. When they serve others, they're practicing the kind of selfless love they'll pour into your relationship. Their present tense love for you is also creating a protective instinct that operates across time and space. They find themselves getting angry at the thought of anyone hurting you. They feel a supernatural urge to pray when you're going through difficult seasons, even though they have no natural way of knowing what you're facing. Their spirit is already connected to yours in ways that transcend physical proximity. This supernatural love is changing their character in preparation for loving you well. They're developing patience because they can sense you'll need their steadiness, growing in generosity because they know you deserve to be spoiled with love, cultivating emotional intelligence because they want to understand your heart perfectly, learning to communicate better because they can envision the deep conversations you'll share. Their love for you is also operating in how they treat other people. They're practicing on everyone else the kind of kindness they want to show you, developing the habits of consideration, attentiveness, and care that will bless your relationship, learning to love without conditions or expectations because they want to offer you pure love. This present tense love is creating in them a supernatural contentment with the waiting process. They're not frustrated by your absence because they can feel your presence spiritually. They're not anxious about when you'll arrive because they're already experiencing your love. They're not settling for less than what God promised because they're already tasting the real thing. Your soulmate is also defending your relationship to others before it even exists naturally. When people suggest they should lower their standards or settle for someone available, they refuse. When family members pressure them about their timeline, they hold firmly to God's timing. When friends try to set them up with people who aren't you, they politely decline because their heart is already taken. This supernatural love is also creating in them an ability to see you clearly even before they see you physically. They love your heart, your character, your calling, your essence, not the fantasy version of who they want you to be, but the real you that God has revealed to their spirit. They already love your flaws, your quirks, your growth areas, because real love isn't conditional on perfection. The most profound aspect of their present tense love is that it's preparing them to love you with eternity in mind. This isn't just about earthly romance or temporary companionship. They're falling in love with the person they'll spend forever with. Their love is already operating with the depth, commitment, and permanence that covenant marriage requires. This present tense love explains why they can't wait any longer. You can't love someone this deeply in the spiritual realm without eventually needing to express it in the physical realm. Number 7. God is supernaturally aligning your paths for divine collision. The most intricate orchestration you can imagine is happening right now behind the scenes of your ordinary life. God is moving people, shifting circumstances, opening doors, and closing others to create the perfect conditions for you and your soulmate to meet. This isn't about chance encounters or lucky coincidences. This is about the God who knows the end from the beginning strategically, positioning two hearts for a divine collision that will change both of your lives forever. Think about the GPS system in your car. It calculates millions of variables, traffic patterns, road closures, weather conditions, construction zones, to guide you to your destination through the most efficient route. But what God is doing with your love life is infinitely more complex and beautiful than any human technology. He's calculating every choice you make, every place you go, every person you meet, to ensure that when you and your soulmate cross paths, it will be at the perfect moment in both of your journeys. Your soulmate is being guided by the same supernatural GPS system. Decisions they think they're making for practical reasons are actually being orchestrated by God to bring them closer to you. Job. Opportunities that seem random are positioning them in your city. Social invitations that feel casual are introducing them to people who will eventually introduce them to you. Hobbies they're developing are preparing them for activities you'll enjoy together. Even their mistakes and detours are being woven into the perfect timing of your connection. This supernatural alignment is happening on multiple levels simultaneously. Geographically, you're both being moved into position. If you need to be in the same city, God is creating reasons for both of you to be there. If you need to frequent the same places, He's developing interests and needs that will naturally lead you to those locations. If you need to know the same people, He's expanding both of your social circles in ways that will eventually overlap. Emotionally, you're both being prepared for the same season of readiness. God is healing your hearts at the same pace, so you'll both be available for love at the same time. He's maturing you both spiritually, so you'll be equally yoked when you meet. He's growing you both financially, so you'll be ready to build a life together. The timing has to be perfect for both hearts, not just one. Professionally, your paths are being aligned in ways that will support your shared future. Career moves that seem unrelated are actually preparing you both for the financial stability your family will need. Skills you're developing individually will complement each other perfectly in your partnership. Networks you're building separately will combine to create incredible opportunities for your shared ministry and purpose. God is also aligning your paths through the people He's placing in your lives. That new friend who seems to understand you so well. They're connected to your soulmate's world in ways you haven't discovered yet. That mentor who's been investing in your growth. They're preparing you to be worthy of the love that's coming. That person who's been praying for your future spouse. Their prayers are creating pathways in the spiritual realm for your connection to manifest. The supernatural alignment extends to your daily routines and habits. Places you've started going regularly are places your soulmate will soon discover. Activities you've become passionate about are activities that will bring you together. Even your sleep schedule is being adjusted to create windows of opportunity for divine appointments. This orchestration is so detailed that it includes your individual growth type. Issues you've been working through in counseling are being resolved at the same rate your soulmate is addressing their growth areas. Character development that's been happening in your private devotions is mirroring the spiritual maturity developing in their heart. You're being prepared for each other with supernatural precision. God is also aligning your paths through what seems like resistance or delay. Relationships that didn't work out were protecting you from settling before your soulmate arrived. Opportunities that fell through were keeping you available for better opportunities that will benefit both of you. Even the loneliness you've experienced was creating in you a hunger for the deep connection that only covenant love can provide. The most beautiful aspect of this supernatural alignment is that when you finally meet, it will feel inevitable. Not surprising, but inevitable. Like every step you've ever taken was leading you to that exact moment. Every choice, every setback, every victory will suddenly make perfect sense as part of a divine love story that was being written long before you were born. Your soulmate is experiencing the same sense of divine orchestration. Their life is accelerating in ways that feel guided by an invisible hand. Doors are opening that they didn't even know they wanted to walk through. People are connecting them to opportunities that seem perfectly designed for their gifts and calling. The path is becoming clear in ways that can only be explained by supernatural intervention. This divine collision is approaching rapidly. The final pieces are falling into place. The last obstacles are being removed. The perfect moment is almost here. Your paths haven't just been aligned. They're about to intersect in the most beautiful way possible. Number 8, they're preparing their entire life to welcome you home. Something profound is happening in your soulmate's daily existence that goes far beyond casual dating, preparation, or general relationship readiness. They're restructuring their entire life with the specific intention of creating space for you to not just visit, but to belong completely. This isn't about making room for a guest. This is about preparing a home for their forever person. Their heart has recognized that you're not just someone they want to date or spend time with casually. You're the person they want to share every ordinary Tuesday with for the rest of their life. And that recognition is changing everything about how they're approaching their daily existence. Look at what's happening in their living space. They're making changes that seem practical on the surface, but are actually preparation for your arrival. Choosing paint colors that will feel peaceful to both of you. Buying furniture that will accommodate to people's comfort and preferences. Creating spaces that will nurture intimacy, conversation, and shared dreams. They're not just decorating an apartment, they're creating the environment where your love story will unfold in all its daily beauty. Their financial decisions are being made with your shared future in mind. They're saving money not just for themselves, but for the life you'll build together, making career moves that will provide stability for a family, investing in their health and well-being because they want to be strong and vibrant for the decades you'll share. Every dollar they spend or save is being filtered through the question, how will this serve us? The changes extend to their daily routines and habits. They're developing morning routines that will include prayer for your relationship, creating evening schedules that will allow for quality time together, establishing work boundaries that will protect your marriage from career stress, building friendships with couples who will support your union rather than undermine it. They are preparing emotionally and spiritually for the sacred responsibility of being your lifelong partner, dealing with their past pain and trauma so they don't bring unhealed wounds into your relationship, developing communication skills that will create safety for your most vulnerable conversations, growing in their relationship with God so they can lead your family spiritually, learning to love unconditionally so they can weather every season of your shared life together. Your soulmate is also preparing practically for the logistics of sharing life with another person, learning to cook if that's not their strength because they want to nourish you, developing organizational systems that will serve to people's needs, creating morning and evening routines that will accommodate both of your preferences, establishing rhythms that will keep your home peaceful and your relationship thriving. They're preparing their social life for your integration, surrounding themselves with people who will celebrate your relationship, distancing themselves from influences that would damage your connection, building community with couples and families, who modeled the kind of marriage they want to create with you, developing friendships that will bless your shared life rather than compete with it. The preparation extends to their spiritual life in profound ways. They're growing in their ability to hear God's voice so they can discern His will for your family, developing a prayer life that will cover and protect your relationship, learning to worship in ways that will draw you both closer to God and to each other, building spiritual disciplines that will keep Christ at the center of your marriage. Your soulmate is also preparing for the specific ways they'll need to love and serve you. If you're someone who needs encouragement, they're learning to speak life-giving words. If you thrive on quality time, they're creating margin in their schedule. If you feel loved through acts of service, they're developing servant leadership. If physical affection is important to you, they're preparing to love you well in that way. They're also preparing for your dreams and calling, making space in their life for your goals and aspirations, developing skills that will support your ministry or career. Number 9. The supernatural impartation of your love language is complete. Something miraculous has happened in your soulmate's heart that defies natural explanation and reveals the intimate care with which God orchestrates covenant relationships. Without ever having met you, without knowing your history or your preferences, your soulmate has been supernaturally equipped with the exact knowledge of how to love you in the ways that speak most deeply to your soul. This isn't about learning your love language after you meet and share your preferences. This is about God downloading into their spirit the precise frequencies of affection, attention, and care that make your heart come alive. They've been given supernatural insight into the specific ways you need to be loved, valued, and cherished. If words of affirmation are your primary love language, they've been developing an eloquence and sensitivity in their speech that will breathe life into your spirit every day. They find themselves drawn to poetry, to meaningful conversations, to the power of spoken encouragement. God has been training their tongue to speak the exact words your heart has been longing to hear. Not generic compliments or surface-level praise, but the deep soul-level affirmations that will heal insecurities you've carried for years. If quality time is what makes you feel most loved, they've been learning the art of presence in ways that will make every moment with them feel sacred. They're developing the ability to put away distractions, to listen with their whole being, to create space where you feel seen and heard completely. God has been teaching them that the greatest gift they can give you isn't expensive presents or grand gestures, it's their undivided attention and genuine interest in every detail of your heart and mind. If acts of service speak love to your soul, they've been developing a servant's heart that finds joy in meeting your needs before you even express them. They're learning to notice what would bless you, what would make your life easier, what would demonstrate their care in practical ways. God has been cultivating in them the kind of love that shows up in daily actions, making your coffee exactly how you like it, handling tasks that stress you, creating beauty and order in your shared spaces. If receiving gifts is your love language, they've been developing a supernatural sensitivity to what would delight your heart, not because they have unlimited resources, but because God has given them insight into the specific types of gifts that would make you feel truly seen and appreciated. They're learning the art of thoughtful giving presents that reflect your personality, your dreams, your passions, your growth journey. If physical touch is how you best receive love, they've been prepared to love you with tenderness, respect, and the kind of affection that makes you feel cherished and safe. God has been developing in them an understanding of appropriate boundaries, while also preparing them to express love through gentle touches, warm embraces, and the physical closeness that creates intimacy and connection. But this supernatural impartation goes beyond just the 5 love languages. God has given your soulmate insight into your specific emotional needs, your unique triggers, your particular ways of processing stress and conflict. They've been prepared to love you through your difficult days with exactly the kind of patience and understanding you'll need. They know intuitively how to comfort you when you're overwhelmed, how to encourage you when you're discouraged, how to celebrate with you when you're excited. This divine download includes understanding your communication style. If you're someone who needs time to process before discussing difficult topics, they've been prepared to give you that space. If you're someone who needs to talk through problems immediately, they've been equipped with the patience and wisdom to engage with you in those moments. If you express love through teasing and playfulness, they've developed a sense of humor that matches yours. If you're more serious and prefer deeper conversations, they've been growing in their ability to meet you in those profound spaces. Your soulmate has also been given supernatural insight into your spiritual needs. They know how to pray for you in ways that will strengthen your relationship with God. They understand how to create space for your worship style, your devotional preferences, your way of connecting with heaven. They've been prepared to lead your family spiritually in ways that honor both your relationship with God and your unique spiritual journey. This supernatural impartation extends to understanding your dreams, your calling, your purpose. They don't just support your goals generically, they understand the specific vision God has placed in your heart and how to encourage you in ways that will help you fulfill your destiny. They know how to celebrate your victories without jealousy, how to encourage you through setbacks without condescension, how to believe in your dreams even when you struggle to believe in them yourself. The most beautiful aspect of this supernatural impartation is that it creates in them a love that feels effortless and natural. They won't have to work hard to figure out how to make you feel loved. It will flow from them naturally because God has written your love language into their spiritual DNA. When you meet them, you'll be amazed at how naturally they know exactly what you need, exactly when you need it, exactly how to give it to you, in ways that feel like heaven's own design. This supernatural preparation means that from the very beginning of your relationship, you'll feel truly seen, understood, and loved in ways you've never experienced before. Your soulmate won't need months or years to learn how to love you well. They'll start loving you perfectly from day one because God has been their teacher and your heart has been their curriculum. Asterisk number 10. Heaven's wedding bells are already ringing over your union in the realm of the Spirit, where God dwells and operates outside the limitations of human time. Your wedding has already taken place. Heaven has already celebrated your union. Angels have already witnessed your vows, and your marriage covenant has already been sealed in the courts of eternity. What you're waiting for isn't the beginning of your love story, it's the earthly manifestation of a spiritual reality that already exists in God's realm. This isn't mystical speculation or wishful thinking. This is the profound truth about how God operates in covenant relationships. He sees the end from the beginning, and in his eternal perspective, you and your soulmate are already one. The spiritual realm recognizes your marriage as a completed reality, and that recognition is creating irresistible momentum for your earthly connection to manifest. Your soulmate is feeling the effects of this heavenly celebration in ways they might not fully understand. There's a deep peace in their spirit about your relationship that goes beyond natural confidence. They have supernatural assurance that what God has joined together in the spiritual realm, no earthly force can prevent from coming together in the natural realm. This heavenly recognition of your union is creating what I call covenant magnetism, an irresistible spiritual pull between your hearts that transcends physical distance and circumstances, like iron filings drawn to a magnet. You're being drawn to each other by forces that operate beyond the natural realm. This pull is becoming stronger every day. As the time for your earthly meeting approaches, the angels assigned to your love story are working overtime to coordinate the final details of your divine collision. They're arranging circumstances, orchestrating encounters, and removing obstacles with the efficiency that comes from executing a plan that's already been approved in heaven's throne room. Every prayer you've prayed for your future spouse has been heard and answered in the spiritual realm. Every tear you've cried over love has been collected and is about to be transformed into tears of overwhelming joy. Every night you've fallen asleep asking God about your soulmate has been building toward this moment when heaven's answer becomes your earthly reality. Your soulmate has been experiencing prophetic dreams and visions that give them glimpses of your wedding day. Not vague impressions, but specific details about your celebration, your joy, your families coming together, your covenant before God. These aren't just dreams, they're previews of a future that's already been established in eternity. The spiritual atmosphere around both of your lives is charged with expectancy. Those who are spiritually sensitive can feel the shift that's happening. There's an electricity in the air around you, a sense that something significant is about to unfold. People who pray for you are getting confirmation in their spirits that your waiting season is over. This heavenly celebration of your union is also releasing supernatural favor over every area of your lives. Doors are opening, opportunities are appearing. Provision is flowing because heaven is investing in a marriage that's already been blessed in the courts of eternity. Your earthly wedding won't just be a ceremony. It will be a manifestation of a spiritual reality that's already been celebrated in heaven. The joy you'll feel on that day will be an echo of the joy that's already filled heaven's halls when God spoke your union into existence. Your family's tears of happiness will mirror the tears of joy that the angels shed when your covenant was sealed in eternity. The supernatural peace that will fill your hearts as you exchange vows will be a reflection of the peace that already exists in heaven about your destiny together. But this heavenly celebration isn't just about your wedding day, it extends to your entire married life. Heaven has already celebrated every anniversary you'll share, every challenge you'll overcome together, every child you'll raise, every ministry you'll build, every golden year you'll enjoy in your old age. Your entire marriage exists as a completed, beautiful reality in God's realm. And that eternal perspective is what gives your soulmate such unshakable confidence about your future together. The heavenly celebration is also creating supernatural protection around your relationship, because your union has already been blessed and sealed in eternity. No earthly force can successfully attack what heaven has established. Every weapon formed against your marriage is already defeated, because your covenant exists in a realm where God's will is always accomplished. This protection began operating the moment God spoke your union into existence in the spiritual realm, and it will continue operating throughout your earthly marriage. Your soulmate feels this divine protection as an unshakable peace about your future together. They don't worry about whether your love will last, because they can sense that it's backed by eternal promises. They don't fear the challenges that marriage will bring, because they know that heaven's resources are available to overcome every obstacle. The most beautiful aspect of this heavenly celebration is that it's creating in both of you a supernatural readiness for the sacred responsibility of marriage. You're not just preparing to be in a relationship, you're preparing to step into an earthly role in a cosmic love story that's already been celebrated in heaven. This perspective transforms everything about how you'll approach your marriage, giving you both the reverence and joy that come from knowing you're participating in something that heaven itself has orchestrated and blessed. Precious soul, as we reach the end of this prophetic journey together, I need you to understand that everything I've shared with you today isn't just inspiration. It's revelation straight from the heart of God about what He's doing in your love life right now. Your soulmate isn't just thinking about youth. They're living every day with the supernatural certainty that their forever person is you. The divine stirring in their heart has reached the breaking point where they cannot contain their love for you any longer. God has given them supernatural clarity about your identity, prepared their heart to receive your love perfectly, and confirmed that you are their forever choice through divine revelation that cannot be shaken. The enemy's resistance against your union is crumbling under the weight of God's perfect timing. Their love for you is already operating in present tense, creating protective instincts and preparation that spans across time and space. God is supernaturally aligning your paths for a divine collision that will make both of you grateful for every moment of waiting you endured. They're preparing their entire life to welcome you home not as a visitor, but as their forever partner. The supernatural impartation of your love language is complete, meaning they already know exactly how to make your heart come alive with affection. And heaven's wedding bells are already ringing over your union, because in God's eternal realm, your marriage is already a celebrated reality. Your waiting season is over, beautiful one. Not because I say so, but because heaven has decreed it. Your soulmate has made their forever choice about you, and that choice is sealed with the authority of eternity itself. What you're about to experience isn't just human romances, divine love manifesting in earthly form. It's covenant connection that will reflect the very heart of God's love for His people. It's partnership that will advance heaven's agenda and create a legacy that will impact generations. Stop looking at the clock and start looking at your heart. Do you feel the shift that's happening? The restlessness that's actually anticipation? The stirring that's actually your spirit recognizing that your breakthrough moment has arrived? Your soulmate can't wait any longer because God's timing is perfect, and His timing says now. Get ready, precious one. Your love story is about to begin, and it's going to be more beautiful than anything you ever dared to dream. If this message has set your heart on fire with hope and expectation, share it with someone who needs to hear that their love story is also being written by the same faithful God. Subscribe to this channel because I'll be here to encourage you through every season of the incredible marriage that's coming your way. And remember, your soulmate has already chosen you forever. Now it's time for forever to begin. God bless you, beautiful soul. Your happy ending is not just coming, it's here.